Hi, this is Mrs. Broad, and today we are going to talk about factoring by grouping. So we're going to factor polynomials by grouping terms together. So let's look at the first example. What we want to look for is we want whatever's in the parentheses to be exactly the same. So the GCF is going to be a binomial at this point. Well, number one is perfect because we can see that in this first parentheses we have x minus y, and then in the second we have x minus y. So what's going to happen when we're making our product is we are going to pull those out, and that is going to become one of our factors in our answers. Now, what we do with the next part is we have leftovers. We have a w minus 8. Those are going to be pulled out, and they are going to make our second factor. And that's really all we're doing, but we're not always going to have what we need in the parentheses, so we may have to look for some other things at the beginning. But that would be my answer for number one. So number two, we have v minus 2 and 2 minus v. Okay, so they are almost the same, except the signs are different. So I'm going to try rewriting that second one and see if we can come up with anything. I'm going to switch them around and say negative v plus 2. Okay, so let's go back and look. V minus 2, negative v plus 2. So we still have the signs backwards. So what needs to happen in order to make these identical is we need to factor out a negative in that second group. So one thing that you need to remember though, if you're going to pull out a negative, you have to pull it from both terms. So I'm going to pull out a negative here, and that's going to make a positive v. But if I have a positive, that means it's either two positives or two negatives. If I pull out one of the negatives, that's going to make the second term negative. So now I can see v minus 2, v minus 2. These now match. So those will come together and make one of my terms, v minus 2. And u minus 2 will come together and make my second term. So I'm a little crowded over here, so I'm going to rewrite it. So what I've got is u minus 2 times v minus 2. So I just grouped the terms together. Everything in parentheses grouped to form one factor. Everything outside the parentheses grouped to form the second factor. So for number 3, and I'm going to erase this a little bit so I have more room right here. For number 3, I am going to go ahead and look at these as two separate groups. Well, I can see nothing in the parentheses matches right now. So what I need to do is find the GCF of each group in hopes that whatever's left over in the parentheses might match the other group. So let's look at this first box, 12x squared minus 8xy. Well, we do know 12 and 8, they have 2 in common, but they also, we want the greatest common factor, have a 4 in common. So we have an x squared here and an x. Remember, for GCF, we always go with the lowest. So they do have a single x in common, and they do not have any y's in common. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to put that GCF, don't forget, we learned in a past topic that the GCF needs to go out in front of the parentheses, and we divide everything inside the parentheses by that GCF. So I'm going to divide 12x squared by 4x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to divide negative 8xy by 4x. So negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. The x's would cancel out and leave me with a y. So that's what I get for that first group. So let's see if I do the GCF of the second group, if I can get what's in parentheses to match 3x minus 2. So we can see that we already have a -5 out. So let's see if they have anything else in parentheses in common. Well, 3 and 2 have nothing in common except a 1. There's no other x's, but they do have a z in common. So I am going to pull that out, and I'm going to divide both of these by z. So 3xz divided by z is going to cancel the z's out and leave me with 3x. 2yz divided by z, or -2yz divided by z, again, the z's would cancel out and leave me with -2y. So look what happened now. Now the inside terms match. And if we remember from the first two examples, that means that they will come together and form one of my factors in my answer. And everything on the outside, the GCFs on the outside, are going to come together to form the second factor. So my two factors for this would be 4x minus 5z and 3x minus 2y. So again, I'm going to group these two together. So notice, just like in the last one, we have 4 terms. Whenever we group 4 terms together, we want to look for a couple things. We want to look for perfect squared trinomials if we grouped 3 and 3, like if our 3 and 1. We want to look for dots, difference of the squares. If there's not one, then we would group them in factor. Okay, so let me erase the groups first so we can check for those things. I want to look for a perfect squared trinomial. So I'm going to look at these together. Well, we know x squared is a perfect square, but xy is not. So it's not a PST. So I want to look for a difference of the squares. Again, x squared is, but nothing else is a difference of the squares. So I am going to have to group these and find the GCF for each one. So in my first group, x squared minus 2x, we can see that they have an x in common. I'm going to pull that out, put it in front, and divide everything else by x. That's going to leave me with x minus 2 in parentheses. For my next part, I can see that they have y's in common. So I am going to pull out a positive y, because I had a positive right there, and divide everything else by y, which you can see leaves me with x minus 2, which is what I was hoping for, because I can see that my inside terms match, and those are going to come together to make one factor, and my leftovers, my GCFs on the outside, are going to come together to make the second factor. So this one's just a little bit different because there's a lot of stuff to look at. Okay, so number 5, we can see we have 4 terms. So we're going to check for that perfect square trinomial, which we can see here that u to the third is not a perfect square. So we don't have that. We also do not have a difference of the squares. So I am going to group these. And I can see that in the first part, I have u squared as my only GCF. So I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to divide everything else by u squared. Well, 3 divided by 1, that stays 3. U to the third divided by u squared is u. These will cancel out, but I can't just have minus nothing. There's something there. Remember that there's a 1 in front of that, so minus 1. So now I have to look at my second group, and I know what I want to happen is I want what's left over to be 3u minus 1 in parentheses. But you can see here that that would be a positive. So I need to factor out a negative 3. So by factoring out a negative 3, I can see that negative divided by negative is going to leave a positive 3u in the parentheses, and a positive divided by a negative is going to leave a negative 1, which is exactly what I wanted. So you have to think about those types of things. If I had just factored out a 3, I would be left with the wrong terms on the inside, and I would have to go back and factor out a negative. So it just saves us a little time. So now I can see that 3u minus 1 is going to make 1 factor, and my GCFs that are on the outside are going to come together to make another factor. And I do want to check, since I have that u squared on there, that I don't have anything else that I can factor out, and I cannot in this case since 3 is not a perfect square. So that would be my final answer in that case. So number 6 is a special case because this is actually a difference of the squares. If you can see right here, a plus 2b squared is a perfect square. It can be broken down into a plus 2b times a plus 2b. And if you look, 9c squared is also a perfect square that can be broken into 3c and 3c. So if you, and we do have a difference right there, so that's the other reason. So if you remember, you take first term and second term, a plus 2b plus 3c, one of those has to be positive, and we're looking at this. We can't change the positive in the first term because that's a binomial. And then if you look at the second part, we would have to make this one a plus 2b minus 3c. So that would be a difference of the squares. Remember, difference of the squares, one has to be positive, one has to be negative. We can't change these because those are part of the first part, the first monomial or binomial. All right, with 4 terms again, we are going to look for a perfect square trinomial. But here's a little hint. I want to rearrange this first. You can see here I have h's and then a number by itself. So I'm going to move this negative 4k squared to the back, and I'm going to rewrite it h squared minus 4h plus 4 minus 4k squared. So I rearranged it so that now I can compare just my h's to each other, and I want to look for dots and PSTs. So I do know that h squared is a perfect square and 4 is a perfect square, so I could have a perfect square trinomial. Remember, I take one of the factors of each, multiply them together, 2h, and double it to get that middle term, which is 4h. So this is a perfect square trinomial. So remember that that would be h, and I have to look at this, minus 2 times h minus 2, or h minus 2 squared. So I have factored that part, minus 4k squared. So I'm not finished yet. I still need to look for other things. I'm going to look for a difference of the squares. So this up here was a PST. And I can see that this is definitely a difference of the squares. And 4 and k squared are both difference of the squares as well. So remember, I'm going to take my first term, h minus 2, and make one of the second terms positive, And then I'm going to take my first term, h minus 2, and make my other second term negative. And that is my final answer. So it may be hard to spot these things at first. You just have to really be familiar what a perfect square trinomial is, and what a difference of the square is in order to do these. And that will come with time and with practice. So now I'm going to look at this last one, and we've got 5 terms here, so there's a lot to look at. But if I just look at these first 3 terms, I can see that usually that 2ab would go in the middle of those two if we were writing it alphabetically. So I'm going to rewrite it that way. And then I want to check for a PST. Remember that a squared can be broken down into a, and b squared into b and b. If I take one of each of those terms, multiply it together, and double it, so a times b would be ab, double it would be 2ab, I can see that I would have a perfect square trinomial. So I would take that first term, a, I'd look at the sign at the front, and I can see that I would get a plus b squared. So I can't forget about this up at the top. I still have 2a plus 2b. And remember, I want whatever's in parentheses to match, so I'm really looking to get that to be a plus b in parentheses. Well, if you can see, you can factor out a 2 from both of those, and that would stay a plus b in parentheses. All right, so we still have more to do. I'm going to rewrite this over on the right-hand side, but instead of writing a plus b squared, I'm going to write it out. A plus b times a plus b plus 2 times a plus b. So now, one of these will come together and make the first term. And these two will come together to make the second term, second factor. So that is my final answer. And again, I know that this topic can seem a little bit confusing. It just takes a lot of practice and really being able to recognize perfect square trinomials and difference of the squares in order to make it a little bit easier to factor.